Right. So it's going to be a short video on just some testing for, let's see, what was this? This was for array algorithms and operations on how to get the average, the lowest, and the highest values, as well as using the array inside of the method's argument. 431. $71. Public class. Change to practice. Practice. Alright, so to start things off, the first part right here, cells double parentheses S, is a method for making an array as large as S. And then we're initializing sales as a new double s.length. So s.length will allow the input for s to be any length for the array. So the length can be 10 long. So then sales will equal new double s.length at 10. And then the for loop will go to copy the elements from S to sales, and then it should return a value. Let's see, did I copy it wrong? See, this one's closed, this one closes it. Okay, I guess that's it for that one. So get total method, return the total of the elements in sales array. Oh, whoops. Public total, get total, okay. The accumulator, okay, we're going to be working on the sum of the elements. Let's see, what do we have here? We have a for loop in order to have the total equal, be an incremental operator of the sales index. That's why it's in a for loop, because it's accessing the sales dot length based of the array, okay, and then it returns the total. So once this for loop has gone through, it'll do the return total, and then it'll output to wherever it's going. Let's see, then we have get average returns get total divided by sales length, which makes sense. It's just basic algebra right here. Then we have double get highest. Double highest equals sales at 0. Or sales... Is it sales number 0? How do we pronounce this again? I swear I wrote it down in my notes. I want to say it's sub 0. Or it's number... print element number, that's not it. Oh, it is sub-0, okay. So it's pronounced as sales sub-0. That is pretty cool. Then we have the for loop for, let's see, what is this one? This one's enclosed in here, so to get the highest, okay. So this for loop is to figure out which value inside the array is the highest, and once we find out what the highest is, it'll store that value as highest. So this for loop will check at each element by going through each index, and it'll store the highest at element 0. So let's see. Initialization's right here. Then we have the test. If the test is true, then the if statement can go through. Once it goes through, for these statements, the incremental operator will go ahead and initialize. Once it goes through that, it'll update index and equal to. It'll go as long as it is lower than the sales.length. Once this statement is false, then the for loop ends, and it'll return whatever was the highest. Let's see. Then the last part is public double get lowest. Okay, this is just to figure out what value is the lowest and return that value. Man, I feel like I'm so out of breath. For int index equaling 1, index is less than sales.length. Sales index is less than, see. Alright, hold on. Index is less than sales.length, index incremental operator. If sales index is less than lowest, lowest equals sales index. So if the index is less than lowest, then lowest is equal lowest becomes sales index. When does it end? When the index is less than sales length. When 5 is less than element 0. When index equals 5, sales length, let's say it's 4 long. So it'll be, that's when it would end. So once it reaches 4, element 4 and index is at 5, so it'll be based on whichever of those 4 elements is the lowest will be lowest equals sales index. Okay, that makes sense. So now I need to save this one and do the secondary project of this. Yeah, you gotta wait, bro. Is it saved? Save. Yeah, just save it. Because we'll make the secondary part. Okay, so for next video, I should have these ready just so I can not have like 2 minutes of dead air. That makes sense.
What's up guys, it's Bucky. Welcome to your 14th Java tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to use multiple classes. Now so far I've taught you guys how to build everything in one simple class such as this. Anytime you want, you can use your source file, right click it, and go to new class. Now go ahead and give this a name like tuna or something like that, and you'll see why this is useful later on. So now we have, as you can see from our tabs, let me move this over, we have an apples class and a tuna class. Now it started out writing our tuna class for us. It says public class tuna. Now anytime you see public, it pretty much means that this class is going to be available to the public, or and again, public means anyone in name out. So put a first thing, use this class, we need to go ahead and use it in main. So we're in here, so it doesn't function or and it's which is use all the stuff that's in this class. Again, if you didn't create an object and you had like 5 classes, it wouldn't know what class you're talking about. So that's why we need an object. So we're saying, alright, we have this object because we want to use something from the tuna class. And of course, you need to set it equal to something. And you always set it equal to new in the class name with empty parameters for now. So now we have an object called tuna object that we can use to get anything we want from this tuna class.
Okay, so what I had to do was basically rename the program from practice to sales data, so this class could be used by this class. So here, let's just run through it. The Java Swing J option pane is basically the box you guys see here. This box right here. Let's see, public static void at the beginning, final end 1 week is 7. So that'll be the number of elements. And then we have double sales equals new double 1 week. We're getting get value sales, okay. Here's where we're calling the class sales data right here. And then once we call this one, the dialog box will show up, and then the way the boxes are going to appear is total sales were, average sales were, high sales were, low sales were, and it'll pick out the week dot total, average, highest, and lowest. After it gets those four values, the system dot exit 0 will initiate, and this part will be finished. After that one, we'll have public void get values. Let's see. Oh, that's what this is at the beginning. Over here, get value sales. Okay. So hold user input for int I get sales for each day of the week. Into the sales for the day. Okay. So the way this program works is initialize the number of elements. Then get values is called. Get values is down here. That's basically how many sales per day happened to hold the data. Once the data is collected, it goes into sales or calls on sales data week for the class. It goes into this program and it reads it does the formulas for the total, the average, the highest, and the lowest. Once it does all those, it'll output what each one was. So total sales were blank, average sales were blank, highest sales were blank, lowest sales were blank. So here, we'll do it again. 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, 10,000, 9,000, 6,000, 0. Alright. And there we have it. The values of how much were for sales. Where is... How's the sales being calculated? Oh, by the total. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for today.